So I run a business that's threatened by the advent of AI. So instead of waiting to find out what happens, I build a new business from scratch that AI can't touch in my garage in my spare time. So for context, I run a digital marketing agency, and obviously digital marketing is on the chopping block when it comes to AI. Who knows what the future holds, right? So I thought instead of waiting for that to happen, I decided to take the bull by the horns and start another business. And quite simply, what I've been doing for the last 6 months is fixing e-scooters. And I actually think it's one of the best opportunities you could be doing right now because it's completely learnable. If someone like myself is able to learn how to fix e-scooters and e-bikes and mobility scooters and things like that, you can too. And the proof is really in the pudding. In the last 10 hours of work I've put into my e-scooter repair business, I've made $3,200, which turns into a net profit of $2,700-ish, which is about $327 an hour, which is almost 3 times more than what I make in my agency. Now, they're obviously pretty good numbers. And the beauty about starting an e-scooter repair business is that it doesn't cost that much to start. I wanted to test the waters with this e-scooter repair business. I didn't want to go all in. You can see here I've really invested in it now with the wall of tires behind me. But at the start, I just got the most popular brands of tires, and I probably put about $3,000 into this business, including a trailer and a bit of stock and some tools that are required. The beauty about doing e-scooter repairs is that you don't require many tools. And as I just said before, the margins are super high. Now, there's a lot of people out there that give you these crazy hype numbers about, oh, you know, this is the best way to make money in 2026. So why do I think e-scooter repairs is such a great industry to get into right now and doing mobility scooters and e-bikes and things like that? Well, it just comes down to supply and demand simply. In the whole area is about 150,000 people, and there are exactly 2 of us that do e-scooter repairs out of 150,000 people. Across the whole of Perth, which is where I live, there might be 25 to 30 people for 2.5 million people. And if you go all over the country, if you go into the US and the UK, it's like that everywhere. There might be 100 people doing e-scooters for millions of e-scooters. There is just not enough people doing the repairs on these e-mobility, mobility scooters. Yes, there's more people doing the repairs, but a lot of these places will only work on the ones they sell. There is very few people that will work on brands that they don't sell. So I pick up a lot of mobility scooters like this one. Same with e-bikes. There's a lot of brands popping up on the market for e-bikes, and I get called up by the manufacturers to ask if I can become an authorized repairer because they have no one locally to repair 5 or 10 that they've sold in an area. So I repair all kinds of random brands. This is an Ison wheel. I've become an authorized repairer for them just because there is so many e-scooters, e-bikes, mobility scooters, and so few people doing them, like I said. And I think a lot of that has to do with, they are simple machines on the surface, but I've met a lot of people that have tried to do the tires on these, have tried to fix little things on these, and have broken them. They are fiddly compared to a bike, and that's why bike shops don't like doing them either. They are fiddly, but they aren't hard to learn. I've probably done 300 or 400 e-scooters now, and it took me the first 20 or so to really learn how to do them. Once I learned how to change an e-scooter tire, then I started making some good money. And even though there's a lot of brands of e-scooters out there, they all kind of have the same components because they're all coming out of China from the same factories. So once you learn how to do all the 9 bots, you can pretty much do any other brand out there. Another reason why I like doing the e-scooter repairs and the e-mobility repairs is that AI can't do this. AI can't pick up a spanner, go to someone's house and take an e-scooter tire off, change it and put it back on. And it's funny because I do marketing online. My whole career has been online, and everyone wants that job. Everyone wants to work online and do online jobs. But they are going to be the first things to go when AI starts to mature. And skills like this, using your hands and doing mechanical work or building things or repairs, things like that, they are becoming more and more valuable because less people want to do them. So I can't actually see the demand dropping off as more people move into not using their hands and not being as comfortable doing tinkering around the house and tinkering with bits and relying on people like myself that are comfortable with their hands to go and help them. I also think that it benefits from the fact that mobility is not going away anytime soon. People need personal mobility, whether that's cars or e-scooters or e-bikes. And there's just going to be less and less people that know the fundamental skills, like the backyard skills to do this stuff themselves. And because of that, they're going to need people like myself to do that work. That's why I am so freaking busy. The third reason I'm so bullish on doing e-scooter repairs and why I'm really doubling down on it, and as you can see by the wall behind me, is because it's not that hard to do. You could learn how to do fences, you could learn how to concrete, but they require a huge amount of resources. They require equipment that's very expensive, and they require a lot of capital expense to start. E-scooter repairs doesn't. You just need a good compressor, you need some hand tools, and you need to learn how to do it. And the learning part of it is actually quite easy because there's a lot of resources on the internet that give you all the fundamental things you need to do, and then you just learn the tricks as you go along. So it's a fantastic thing to start around a current job if you need to keep the stakes low because you say can't afford to leave your job because it pays the bills. You can start something like this and just work on the odd e-scooter every now and again, and then just ramp that up as you go, where I'm doing 50 to 100 e-scooters a month. You can ramp that up over time. If you wanted to start a concreting business, you'd have to buy all the equipment to do the concreting before you'd even start. And if it doesn't work out for you, you've got to sell all that equipment. Worst case scenario, if you decide e-scooter repairs isn't for you, you've got a trailer, you've got a few tools, you've got a compressor, you're going to use them at some point in your life. Now, I don't want to oversell the concept of doing e-scooter repairs. You're not going to become a millionaire doing e-scooter repairs. And it does require work. You still have to physically change the tires on these things. You still have to physically do the work, and you still have to learn the skills. But for $360 an hour, I'm happy to learn the skills because I get to go in the sun, I get to meet new people, I get to do a job that's relatively easy, and it's very well protected against AI. And if you watched any previous videos, you'll know I'm using AI for all the administrative side of this business to make it so I can do more scooters. The reason I'm making this video fundamentally is because there's a whole bunch of ways to make money online, but a lot of those ways are going to go the way of the ghost once AI starts really ramping up. AI resistant services, trade-based services, service-based businesses, things like mowing rounds and stuff like that. That's where the money is going to be, because I feel like a lot of the ways of making money online and the things that are sold to people online, they're going to be gone in 18 months. You know, my marketing agency does really well right now, and I'm very fortunate that I have an ops director who does a lot of the work for me. But who knows in 18 months? If AI makes the job too easy, then there'll be no need for us. So this is a little bit of a hedge against that. And you know, I needed a bit of a change. I've been doing marketing for 10 years now, and I wanted to do something that got me outdoors a little bit more. And, you know, there's nothing better than rocking up to someone's house, fixing their scooter, them being happy, them giving you $150 and you going on your way onto the next job. I will add this as well. It's very cash heavy. Take that for what it is, but it's very cash heavy. I would say 50% of the jobs that we do are paid in cash. So take of that what you will. But getting back to the point, I think it has a lot of positives over a lot of other ways to make money, especially the low barrier to entry side. You don't have to commit a lot of resources to finding out whether it's something you want to do or not. And the skill gap, while it's there, is easy to overcome because you don't need a degree. You don't need to go to formal training. You just need to go on YouTube, learn how to do it, and learn how to do it properly. So make sure to subscribe and leave your questions in the comments. If you have any questions about how this works or logistics, anything like that, leave them in the comments. I'll make a video on them to try and give you a bit of perspective and to see if doing e-scooter repairs is right for you. So I'm Jimmy, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.